world of fitness gurus, trainers, and tons of information, myself, Chrissie and co-host Chris Marzarella, and comedian and producer of the show, Sean Malloy, break down the real and raw of a fitness-based lifestyle with plenty of tips and insights to achieve today's ultimate fitness lifestyle. Consistency, variety, and convenience all have to come together to help create this listening experience. I'm a NASM certified functional trainer and a corrective exercise specialist. I am also a licensed massage therapist in New Jersey for these past 20 years. My co-host Chris is a USAPL powerlifting coach, as well as an ACSM personal trainer and physique coach. Together, we all blend our contrasting fitness ideas and come to you with industry knowledge, integrity, and much needed humor in today's fitness normal. So welcome into your fitness lifestyle podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to the Fitness Lifestyle Podcast, Season 3. So glad you guys are listening, and I am your host, Chrissie Sansevier, and I'm with the most marvelous Mr. Chris Marzarella.
Good afternoon, and thank you.
Thank you. Sean is not with us today.
Boo.
We don't have Shauno, but we'll get through it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get through it. So, this has been a question, and this has been a question that I've had for quite some time because this isn't really my field of expertise, even though I am in the fitness field. I've done a lot of research on this, and I've still had questions about it. We're talking about how to get ripped. Ripped meaning low body fat, right? Muscles. You can see everything. You want to look hot on the beach, nice abs, good arms, back defined, all of that. So we're going to kind of go through. Chris is going to give us a little bit of an idea of how to begin it, because there's a lot of questions about it, and I know that people do go about it the wrong way. So Chris, as far as like starting out, like getting ripped, what's like your first step to it and working out aspect of it? Not so much the nutrition yet.
Okay. Well, you want to continue what you're doing before. And I'm assuming somebody has been doing weight training and they decide they want to do a cut or a fat loss period. Right. Ordinarily, I would say that person, depending on their weight, obviously, that they want to lose, 20 pounds can be done in 4 to 6 months. But there's a lot of consistent tracking what they need to do with that. But that's a nutrition question. We'll get to that in a moment. You want to go as heavy as possible with the form that you're using, or proper form, I should say. Your training should consist of at least 2 to 3. Now I'm talking general fitness people, 2 to 3 full body workouts a week with the volume spread across a week. 1 high intensity interval training session. And I would go for a spread of over 7 days, 15 to 20 minutes of cardio, low impact cardio a week.
15 to 20 minutes just in 1 week.
Every day. No. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. 15 to 20 minutes daily.
Okay. All
right. If a general fitness client comes in and says, I want to drop 20 pounds, I have 6 months.
Okay. Perfect.
It's a really easy issue to solve for her, but she needs to be in the gym, like I said, at least 3 times a week. She has to pick a favorite method of cardio, low impact cardio. And I would also I would assign her 1 high intensity interval session. It can be weighted carries for 10 minutes. It could be a 10-minute cycle of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Or for a beginner, I would do 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off. Depends on what type of background and training history they have.
Okay.
So, and then if you have a competitor, like a bodybuilder or a physique competitor, then you're going into an extreme amount of fat loss. And for that, like myself, for example, last December, I started out at 243. I looked at my chart today; it was 243 when I started, and I felt like absolute garbage. So I made a decision to play around with competing one last time for a classic physique. Um, August, September, I hit my goal, and my wife and I discussed it. It's just not in the cards anymore, health wise. Pancreatitis was really flaring up. I still continue to train as if I were going into a show, and in fact, I'm still doing that now. And my weight was 206 in August, and now it's 228 to 210, given an average. I like the way I look. I still have that classic physique look. I eat my cookie if I want my cookie during the week. I still train just as hard. I am learning that I like to do one training session a day and then skip a day and do some cardio. Through your dare for the Tough Mudder, I have been training twice a week for that specifically. I'm up to 2 miles a day. Excuse me, 2 miles twice a week.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And the knees are handling it well. I did buy some braces for my knees because I'm a little nervous, and I'm playing around with some footwear.
Okay, we could talk about that for sure.
I don't know. This is like I could tell you which squat shoes to buy, or what deadlift slippers to buy, or what bar to buy for your home gym. But just footwear is. There's a lot of details involved.
There's a lot. Well, in our area, generally, there's the running store, Road Runners.
Right.
That's in Shrewsbury by the Grove, in Jersey over here. But just like a good rule of thumb, do you have? And the only reason I can kind of give a little bit information on this is because I've been running for a really, really long time. I have very, very narrow feet, super narrow. I would imagine that you didn't have narrow feet.
Super wide.
I was just going to ask you that. I was like, I'm pretty sure your feet are not narrow.
13.5 wide, extra wide.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're like duck feet.
You need it. Yeah, you got flippers.
Yes.
You need, it's a really good shoe for you. And people, when I've suggested the New Balance.
I have New Balance it's really the only shoe that I can fit into comfortably, but they're also old man shoes, and it's like
they got some. I know what you're saying, like the plain white ones or whatever.
I would never wear those.
Okay, they have cooler styles.
I have what looks like snakeskin.
Yeah,
they're dope as hell.
That's awesome. They're the good ones for you.
You're right, they are. I tried running in them without any inner soles. Not inner soles. The orthotics.
Yeah, but you're a big guy. You need that cushioning, though.
Right. So I bought something, Auto Mix or something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but it's got a nice high arch on it. The first few times I wear them, the first few times I wore them, they were very challenging. My feet hurt afterwards. And the more I talk to people who do run, they say that there's a learning period of your feet that they need to adjust and build up that area.
Agreed. I usually get, because my feet are really skinny and they're bony, and I pronate slightly, especially on my right foot. I am an Asics and a Saucony person because there's a ton of cushioning. My foot moves in the shoe. Even going a narrow size, my foot moves in the shoe. So anytime I get a new pair of sneakers, which is really often, I go through sneakers like water, really.
Same here.
I just do. I get a blister on my toe, my right big toe, and then one on my on the other
left big toe.
Always. I'm telling you, always and then I break the sneakers in and I'm good. But I can't deviate from Sauconys or Asics. I tried it once, I got Brooks, totally didn't work. Nike, I like Nike, but they have no support for running. I hate them for running. Personally.
I tried Brooks Beast.
Because it's a wire.
It's a white shoe, and it was a client gift, and I'm not going to turn down. They were $190 shoes.
Yeah, no, don't turn them down.
Yeah, I would never buy them in a million. Like I would buy a pair of Jordans and just keep them under in a box and just let them collect.
I bought these 40 years ago.
Yeah, put them 40 years now, and then you have a worthwhile pair of shoes.
Yeah.
But I go through the same thing: 4 to 6 months of shoes, and I have two pairs of shoes: an Under Armour, um, and the New Balance that I've been cycling through almost every other day, depending on what I'm wearing that day. I don't want to wear. I like to color coordinate, really.
I believe that.
You know,
Well, style, yeah, I get you.
I try. So what is a black shirt, different color shorts.
Right.
So yeah, the training's going well. I digress, but the running is going well. I'm seeing some small changes in the physique where I'm still the same weight, but my abs are a lot more prominent now. My legs are a lot more cut, and I'm probably carrying around 8 to 10% fat.
Wow.
I don't really recommend that for the general fitness population. I have clients that are all different shapes and sizes. I have one guy, Kurt, who's a huge swimmer. He just completed a 10-mile Lake Michigan swim.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and he's a very accomplished swimmer. He's actually going to do a half marathon next year, and now we're going to work on his conditioning, his diet, and he's about 260. He's a hulk.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I have my girl who specializes in nutrition working with. I have a whole network of people that I need to use in certain cases. But when it comes to contest prep and powerlifting prep and the diet and the training, that's my forte.
Oh, totally.
So
And to go to.
yeah, it depends on that person. Nutrition, I have my own method that I work with my people. But you're still on training. I don't want to break off too much, but
No, that's all right. I have you said earlier about, I was 243, now I'm 206. So are you talking, is that muscle? Is it just regular weight? Are you talking about like fat as well? Like, what do you mean as far as that's concerned?
I started out at probably 18% fat back when I was 246.
Okay.
243, 240, whatever the number was.
So you're lower in weight, meaning you're lower in body fat and bigger and more muscle?
It's more definition, so it kind of looks, it's an optical illusion. You look bigger even though you're smaller.
Because you're ripped.
Correct. Yeah, and you know, I take pride in the fact that I'm the only guy in the neighborhood who could take a shirt off and when he's mowing the lawn. And my wife is like, yeah, that's my husband over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I feel very comfortable at this weight. And you guys, if you really do want to lose weight, you're going to not only look better, but your body is going to feel so much younger, which is one of the cool things about dropping the weight. My joints don't hurt anymore. I can squat ass to grass like a couple of inches, like my granddaughter does when she squats.
I saw the pictures. She's so cute, by the way.
Thank you.
Just saying.
She goes right to my gym as soon as she comes here. She's looking for me.
Aww.
Yeah, so she spots me.
That's awesome. Awesome.
But
so,
yeah, go ahead.
No, weight wise, that's what I was wondering. I mean, now when they're training, like you said, are we doing more? You want to go heavy, but that's first and foremost. What's the next? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that right?
When I say heavy, you want to keep the same volume that you're doing before you started losing weight. Now, through time, when you go down to such a low amount of body fat percentage, you're going to lose some strength. You got to keep the volume going. You may need to employ some techniques. Now I'm talking advanced trainees here, but you want to continue to keep that same volume. You don't want to be a hamster wheel queen on the treadmill. You don't want to spend ridiculous amounts of hours to try to get shredded, and you're spending ridiculous amounts of time.
Right. Yeah.
You just need slight adjustments. Increase the cardio. If you're not doing any cardio now, if you add in 2 to 3 days a week of 15-minute moves, you're going to drop weight just from that. And then smarter diet choices, of course.
Yeah, the small changes, the compound effect, they add up.
That's exactly right. And the more muscle tissue you build, the more calories you're going to be uh, you're going to be burning, even when you're sitting down.
Yeah, absolutely. True that. More muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest
Right.
and when you're working out. Now, you mentioned cardio earlier as well. So, the general fitness population, where are you saying that I heard a HIIT workout, which is more of the high intensity, maybe like sprints and then a stop, sprint and stop kind of thing.
Yes.
Is it right? How about heart rate regularly? You're saying low impact. So are we looking for them to be in the fat burning range of cardio? Are we looking at the cardio range of the cardio, or are we looking at the higher end, the max?
It's a good question.
Yeah. The max.
Let me break it down two parts. High intensity interval training can be 15-second sprints, or it can be 15-second battle ropes, or it can be 20-second battle ropes, or it can be slam ball. One of my favorites is slam ball and battle ropes together. So I'll do 15, 15, and then 1 minute rest. I don't recommend that for somebody who's never done it before. I just say do 15 minutes of battle rope workouts. 8 to 10 cycles to begin with.
Right.
The majority of my clients now do 7-minute rounds to warm up, 15, 45 with the battle ropes. Sometimes they can do both battle ropes. Sometimes they hold one hand, single rope in both hands. Now, that's a high intensity interval training session.
Yes.
The other days of the week, when you're talking about heart rate at the high end or the low end, what I'm looking for is, say you have a training partner and you're on the treadmill together, or you're outside walking, or you're riding a bike. You want to be able to have a labored conversation. That's the range that you want to be in. That's the easiest way for me to put it.
Right, like a slow jog, or like a brisk walk.
Right, exactly. You want to be able to have that conversation, but it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, that's high. I feel like that. Well, it depends. It's different for everybody. I know for myself, I ran with my friend Michelle this morning, and that's the higher area of my fat burning zone and the lower area of my cardio zone. I've noticed for myself.
Okay. So you're advanced in training history. You know, you've been training for years. People that sometimes come. I have an 84-year-old woman. She's 216 pounds. She's obese, obviously. She's morbidly obese, and she got really sick with COVID, and she decided she wants to better herself. And like I said, she's 84 years old. She dropped 16 pounds. And the way I did it with her is, she wears an Apple Watch, and a lot of people are wearing Apple Watches now. Try to get well, yeah, exactly. We're pointing to our Apple Watches, guys. if you're listening to the audio, and I try to get people to get to 8,000 to 12,000, even more. Sometimes I'll hit 30,000 in one day, because I'm either standing all day long and I'm picking weights up, I'm putting them down. I know, here comes the ha-ha joke. So it depends on the person. It is a very individualistic plan for everybody. I don't believe in cookie cutter schemes. But if you want to lose the weight, or you want to get shredded, depending, you need to do more than what you're doing now.
Yes.
On a daily basis.
Yes. So you would say for the general population, 3 to 4 times a week of weight training. Right?
I wouldn't even go that far. If you can, it depends on the person's schedule. If you're a busy executive, or you own your own business, chances are you're not going to. Well, I have the guy who's doing a half marathon a half Ironman next year. He owns a military tech company. He works about 60 to 70 hours a week. He gets in with me twice a week for weight training, full body workouts. Yeah. That is what I would suggest for the general population. Okay. My clients, they range. I have powerlifters. I just got a fighter last week. I'm working on his stamina, and we're going to put some hurting bombs in his hands. You know, well, and then going back to the 84-year-old woman, she's trying to get 7,000 steps a day, but she really doesn't move out of the house. So she's literally walking all over the house just to make those steps. She dropped an enormous amount of weight, and she's tightening up. Like when I control her body, she still has doughy arms. She probably always will, but she's dropped an enormous amount of weight just from moving around more. So going back to your question, I see her 3 times a week, a half hour each session. That's all she can handle.
Right.
You know, and then you have people that are in our shape, 3 to 4 times a week would be fine.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So yeah, now you got the person who's, fitness advanced, but wants to get to that next level.
Right.
That's the question. That's my goal as well. So that's 4. You at least 4, no?
Depends. If it depends on their day, their week, what their schedule is like. On average, I will ask people that they can do 4 sessions a week. I would either do an upper lower split. I've had some where they were competing in bodybuilding and they would do what's called a bro split. Uh, I shouldn't say a bro split. I should say antagonistic parts of their body. Like, for example, chest and back one day, hamstrings and delts. Excuse me. What's that?
Back and by, no, buys and tries.
Right. Like I said, it depends on their training time. And if they can do a 6-day work week, it would be a push pull legs repeat, push pull legs repeat. And then the other days are spent on cardio and recovery and mobility work.
Okay. Wow. So that's not, because that's the question that I had, because that is my goal. And I know that a lot of other people, especially when they're not really, this isn't their sort of expertise. That's a good thing to know. Now, let's see, as far as I want to get the cardio straight as well. So how many times per week if you're in the general population?
General population, 3 to 4 times a week, 15 minutes a day. And then when you see the weight plateauing, before you eliminate more food, I would add on 2 to 3 more minutes of cardio on every session.
Okay, fitness advance.
You need a slight tilt to make things start working again.
Of course. Yeah. That small change, just a little bit, that little, like you said,
right,
tilt of the wheel, just a little bit, just to get that
wheel moving again. Right.
Got it. And then your fitness advance, getting to their next level. How many cardio?
Let's say they're already right now, they're doing 3 to 4 times, 2 to 4 times, depending on what they're doing. Like, say they're just doing 20 minutes workout sessions for cardio, strictly cardio. They may need to bump it up to 25 minutes. And then you want to do a slow progression because your body's going to adapt, homeostasis.
Of course.
It's gonna happen eventually. And I don't like removing carbs. People think carbs are evil. They're not evil. I would rather add in. This is how I do it. My coach would drop my coach would drop some food, but nothing crazy amounts, like maybe 15 grams of carbs, which is nothing. It's like eliminate a piece of fruit from your diet.
I know. Yeah. Again, though, it's
It's just a small little push to get things moving again. A plateau will definitely happen. So you need to decide what you want to do in terms of your cardio. Maybe add on a couple of more cycles to your high intensity interval session, or add on another 3 to 5 minutes more of your cardio that you're doing now. You may have to add in another day of the same amount of time that you're doing all week long. But you don't want to go crazy too early. You don't want to eat too little too soon, because the lower you get in body fat, the harder it's going to be for you to continue to drop into that weight. I know when I got a 217, I was stuck on that for 3 weeks, and it was driving me fucking bananas.
Right. Yeah.
So he made me take a full diet. Now I asked him if I could do a full diet break for 1 week, because I was just, at that point I was probably 7 months, and I'm like, I got to take a diet break. I need a full week off of just maintenance calories and not continue to diet, because I did a lot of research on the Matador study, which is, uh, in a nutshell, you do 3 weeks of strict dieting, and then you take a full week off. You can do 2 weeks off, but I figured 1 week was good enough for me.
Right.
And my weight only fluctuated from 217 to 218 for that 1 week, and then the following week later, I was 214.
Wow.
And now it's a progress. It's a tool that I use in my toolbox all the time. I give people strict dieting for 3 weeks, and then they get a full week off on the fourth week of the training month.
Wow.
Because by the third week, your body is like, oh, okay, we're going to keep starving, so I'm going to stall weight loss.
So this is every month?
Every month that the person is with me, yes. It takes a little longer to get the fat off in the long term,
Right.
but it's more sustainable and it's not as crazy.
Okay. That's
it's very interesting. There's a lot of research now on diet breaks, and the one is the Matador study. It's really fascinating. You need to be strict with the 3 weeks that you're dieting. Some people have done 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off, or 2 weeks on, 1 week off. But diet breaks do work, and I highly recommend any one of my clients, if they want to do fat loss, that they do a diet break.
Now, what does the diet break consist of? Is that just what you would want to eat, as opposed to
No.
Okay.
No, because you're not strapping the feed bag back on. You're not going to be a glutton. What you're going to do is you want to figure out what your maintenance calories are. I have a new calculator. I have several calculators on my website, and one of them is figuring out your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure calories.
Okay.
Plug in the information, and it gives you a roundabout figure of what your maintenance calories would be. If you like high carb, I have percentages for high carb. If you have moderate and low, you decide what you want to do. And those maintenance calories are what you're going to plug in every day.
I see. Okay.
Your protein, your fats, and your carbs.
Okay.
So it's you're getting a break from the severe diet restriction. Even if when I say severe diet restriction, I'm really not saying severe, because there's no bad foods. If I want my piece of pizza, I'm going to fit it into my macro count.
Right. Then you steer back in other areas.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly right. And like, if I want cupcake, I'll probably use my Fat Secret app.
Right.
Figure out what roughly is that cupcake's calories, carbs, fats, protein, and I'll take out something else.
Right. Yeah.
And that's flexible dieting.
Yep.
And it's probably one of the more sustainable ways that somebody can keep the weight off.
I agree. MyFitnessPal and Fat Secret are excellent apps for the calculators and tracking your macros.
Right.
Now I have another question. So I know people need to be not get discouraged. It's like with this Matador the study that you were talking about, or anything in that regard. Like Chris was saying earlier, you're lifting, you're trying to gain some hypertrophy and more muscle mass in the beginning. So you may feel, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think I felt this way in the past. You feel bigger. You feel like almost more like bloated, bigger, because you haven't really dropped the fat yet, and you're building more muscle. So I could be, again, I'm asking, correct me if I'm on the wrong path here. Does that sound like something?
Unless you're using anabolic steroids, you're going to lose some muscle mass.
Okay.
There are fat loss drugs that you can use that will retain the muscle mass. The one I like to use is clenbuterol. I never recommend any drugs to my clients. That's their choice. I don't judge either way.
Right.
But you want to keep your protein relatively high.
Right.
I do 1.6 times body weight, only because I like a higher protein count, and it makes me fuller longer.
Yeah.
But you can just make it easy by just saying 1 gram times your body weight, and protein really plays a huge factor in weight loss.
Absolutely.
It helps you retain the muscle. It will help retain some muscle mass, even though you're going to lose some muscle mass when you're dropping weight down to really low body fat percentages.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and basically kind of answered the nutrition, not all of the nutrition aspect of it, but we talked about tracking, and that's the most important. But there are people that can follow a meal plan as well, no?
Yes, I usually, when I have a person who wants to lose fat, they have two choices. They can do flexible dieting and track their. I have people that love the science behind tracking calories and tracking macros, rather.
Cool. I agree.
You know, and then if they need a menu plan, usually I build a 3-day interchangeable. Wife just passed by me.
Is that Sandy?
Yes.
That's awesome. Hi,
That's
girl.
my bride. So yeah, they have a 3-day interchangeable menu plan: breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks in between. And if they want something to eat afterwards, there's usually planned snacks.
Got it. That's cool. That's good to know.
Well, the only thing I don't like about menu plans is they're harder to do, and I have to have people give me a laundry list of foods that they hate, and that's a pain in the ass.
See, I heard like it is too. Like it becomes quite redundant.
Yeah.
It's very.
That's why I give them 3 days.
It's very redundant.
Yeah.
Right. Now go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, you go, because I have a big question for you. One more question. One more question, and I'm out. But this, I think you'll have something to say about this, I'm sure.
It's just you are better off tracking. This is my sentiment.
Yeah.
You're better off tracking your calories and your macros, protein, fats, carbs, again, because you know what you like. You know what you're going to stick with. You know what to stay away from. If, like, put it this way, I can't have just one slice of pizza. I can't. It's absolutely, utterly impossible for me to just have one slice of pizza. I first of all, I'm Italian, so that cancels one out. The other 2 strikes are, once I get started on one slice, I'm going to look for the pasta, the bread, the salad.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to look for all that.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
It's perfectly said. Yes. If I give somebody, well, you can have one slice of pizza here and a pear there. Right. Where the fuck is the other food? You know, so that's exactly why I hate doing menus.
I know. I get it. Mm-hmm. It's true. That's why I keep that crap out of the house.
I got rid of my saltine crackers.
I love them too, but once I open something, I just have to share this. Once I open something, it's even worse. Like if I know it's in the house, like I probably won't open it. But if if my boyfriend, if he opens it, forget it. It's all bets are off. And
yeah.
And I try so hard, and I know better, but it's just like whatever the hell it is.
When my wife just set up Halloween, which is 2 weeks away. She just set up for Halloween. There's a basket, fucking basket full of candy that I like.
Peanut butter cups and
yep.
Man.
Yeah, if she puts Mary Jane's in the house, forget it. I'm bad.
Man. She's killing you, man.
No, no. That would be the death of me if I had Mary Jane candies in the house.
They're good. I haven't seen those in a while. They're great. Yeah,
they're old school, but I love them. I used to eat them right before I went on stage for a bodybuilding show.
Oh, and what does that do? That carb boost like that?
The alcohol from the red wine that I would drink, and the sugar from the Mary Jane's would make the veins rise a lot more.
Ooze and sugar. My arch.
Listen, you'll never have a complaint from me right before going on stage, because I want to get the fuck off so I can eat some more Mary Jane's.
Have couple shots tequila right here, please. Thank you.
Fireball works also very well.
Fireball, the sugar and all. It's funny stuff. All right, so this real quick, I'm gonna ask you. My again, my friend Michelle, love her, really good friend of mine, known her for a long time. She just recently did a show, and I don't know, she placed like first in like her category or whatnot.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah, she did a hell of a job. She did a food sensitivity test. So she was telling me that apparently we are sensitive to all kinds of foods.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these food sensitivity can keep you from hitting your goal
I don't doubt that.
because she was eating that, and this is the stuff that I eat. I'm a fish person. I like, pork tenderloin. I eat chicken. I eat eggs, vegetables, and whatnot. She's allergic. She found out she's allergic to tuna, shit that I eat, salmon, totally eat salmon. She's allergic to pork, freaking love pork tenderloin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, a couple months ago, I want to say a couple months, a little couple more months, more than I'd say at least 6 months ago, we were basically the same size and she looks phenomenal. And, I think that the food sensitivity test and her not eating those specific foods has made a huge difference. Not that everybody can afford a food sensitivity test, because I know it's very expensive and it's not usually covered by insurance, but there is a chance, that the food sensitivities, your body, especially as you get old, your body's going to react in different ways. It's going to become inflamed. We're going to start holding more water, correct? Like all of that. And that could derail the results.
The best thing to do would be go to an endocrinologist to make sure your thyroids are in check. And you may find out that you have Hashimoto's disease, or you may find out that you can't have gluten, which causes inflammation, which causes water retention.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I only found out because my wife has Hashimoto's and she's got to be gluten-free now.
You see that? There you go. I think that's interesting. If you can do a food sensitivity test, guys, it's not a bad idea. You don't have to do it, but I just thought I wanted to throw that in there. And then one last question, inquisitive. I was inquisitive about this.
Inquire.
Regular water versus distilled water.
Bullshit.
Is it though?
It is.
Okay, because I heard that distilled water, as far as bodybuilding is concerned, is better. It flushes out the toxins. It's nil of minerals and all of that.
You have kidneys to do that.
Okay.
You have a liver.
Okay.
These things are way more important than distilled water. Distilled water and regular drinking water. I go for Poland Spring. I like Poland Spring because it in my opinion, it tastes like velvety water. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, what does Fiji's better though?
It tastes better. It feels cleaner. And I hate using that word because it's connected to bodybuilding, clean eating, which I think is complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But distilled water, the only thing I do with distilled water is fill my humidor up with it, my cigar humidor. No, that's all I use it for. And you can also use it for better clothes ironing.
Oh Jesus!
That's the truth.
I'm not gonna lie. I read about it and I just started drinking it. Can I be honest though? It has a shitty, flat taste.
Yeah, you're right, and
I don't like the taste.
Just because you're competing in a bodybuilding show or you're trying to lose some fat doesn't mean you should go to that extreme. Now, if you don't like it, what the fuck's the use of doing it? Go boil some water.
Go boil.
True. Seriously, go boil some water. You get the same effect.
It's true. But
I know.
Like the top of the pot.
Pretty much, yeah. Just drink that part. But no, seriously. I understand filtered water, of course. Because there's shit in the pipes. Yeah. But I will tell you, the best pizza I ever had was from Belleville, New Jersey. a place called Joey's Pizza. The pipes up there, uh, the pipes up there are phenomenal for water, for pizza. I'm being serious.
Belleville has great pipes for water to make your favorite pizza.
Joey's Pizza will always be reigning supreme.
Oh my God.
I'm dead serious. The best pizza came out of
it. Joey's Pizza.
Joey, it's closed now. They retired, but
Aw.
I know their dough was phenomenal.
You're like, what did you ever ask them? Like, what's in the dough, man? Like, what's in it?
Well, I'll tell you, there used to be a pizzeria down here in Brick where I live. I think it was in Point Pleasant. The guy at the place, he would have water shipped down from Newark,
right,
into his pizzeria
really?
Every week. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
A couple of bakeries around here do that too, as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I know, it's cool, but there's something. Listen, going back to the diet question, do I think there's a difference between distilled water and regular water? Yeah, one tastes like shit and one doesn't. That's about the only difference I can really think of. Listen, if you really want to feel great every day, add a dash of pink sea salt into your water.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give that a try.
You won't taste the salt. It's just it's extra nutrients, not nutrients. I'm sorry, minerals that your body really does need. And pink sea salt is actually, I'll give you a funny story. Every time a powerlifter does a meet, or one of my bodybuilders does a show, I always have a little pocket of pink sea salt with me, because by the end of it, they're completely drained, and this is almost like a jump start for battery, like giving the battery a little extra juice.
Yeah.
And by the end of the squat, bench, deadlift meet for a power lifter, the deadlift's a shot. So that's where they get the salt. They get like a teaspoon of salt. They eat it, swig it with some water. 5 minutes later, they're like ready to go again. It's insane.
So just a little added note on Chris's comment there, guys. Make sure that you add a pinch, because if you add tablespoons.
No. I said teaspoon, dude.
I know you did, but
yeah, I know.
Tell you, if you do that, if you have a bathroom. It's called saltwater flush, and you won't be able. You'll have diarrhea for like an hour and a half. Believe me.
Well, wait a minute.
That the master cleanse.
You ever do the Epsom salt?
I haven't done that one. No.
Epsom salt laxative it's worse than colonoscopy clean out.
Really? What do you put it in water, and just hot water, warm water, I suppose?
I would say warm water. I done it when I had a problem. I couldn't go to the bathroom for 2 to 3 days.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was bad. By the end of the third day, I would put in 3 teaspoons of Epsom salt, rather, with a squeeze of lemon.
Ugh.
Slug it down. 20 minutes later, yeah, it was like the mud geyser blew open.
It's so true. That's pretty gross, but it's so true. So if you have problems going to the bathroom, if you're constipated,
use that.
Use that. Use the Epsom salt and or the regular sea salt.
It's insane the way it works.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Real quick, just wanted to add a little info here. Life Balance Nation, we do corporate stretching sessions. We do 15 to 20 minutes once a week or bi-weekly, and that gives your staff, whether they're working at the place or they're remote, it gives them the chance to get up, stretch out, because I know when you're sitting at the desk all day, it can be a little bit, it's just not healthy for your body. And it's just a good idea, if you want to keep your employees healthy and mobile, it's just a good thing to add. So visit us at lifebalancenation.com, and you can check me out on Facebook and Instagram, Life Balance Nation. Chris?
I'll pick my website with the training tools. I had a page on my website, marzarellafitness.com/training tools. There is a 1 rep max calculator. There's a warm-up calculator for the weights that you would want to use. There's a TDEE energy expenditure calculator to figure out how many calories you need in a day. Again, it's just a rough estimate. The better idea is to just track your macros throughout the week and see what happens. If you stay the same weight, then you would add on or deduct what you want according to your goal. If you want to build muscle, I would add on 10%. If you want to drop weight, I would say lose 10% of whatever. I'd go carbs as much for a starter. And then just take a look at that page, marzarellafitness.com/training tools.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, honestly, if you're, looking to get ripped and just take your fitness to the next level in that regard, definitely check out Chris's page. He's done tons of competitions. He's led lots of people to different competitions. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for quite some time. And
I'm old.
Yeah, he's just old. So at any rate, you guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. You can check out, and all that information too will be in the show notes. It'll be on our Facebook page, the Fitness Lifestyle Podcast Facebook page, and the Instagram page is coming up. You can also check us out on YouTube at the Fitness Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and check you on the flip side.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.